Howdy everyone, and welcome to the Season 1 2020 AI Championships. I am your host Polcho, and we are about to enter the final matches for the qualifying rounds, and then it will be complete, and then we'll move on to the semi-quarterfinals. Exciting stuff. Some favourite teams have made it through, some underdog teams have made it through. We're in for an exciting few matches coming up today as well, so let's get into it. We'll head over to the stadium and find out what teams will be competing first. First up in the arena, we have Team 32, More Power, led by Ingram, versus Team 9, Back Problems, led by Zart. We're going to cross over live now and see these two teams battle it out in match or round number 1 for the first point. Moving into round number 1. We have Riser hiding, taking the flank approach. Dreverard comes out with a taunt, and Arakan Guard matches that. Two teams taunting, so a lot of the damage is going to come out for both sides. Riser comes through with tremendous damage, however, it is healed straight back up by Zart. There's a pretty even matchup at the moment. Big Worm comes through doing a bit of damage and putting everyone to sleep. Good combination there from Worm Priest and Pig Boy. This puts More Power at a tremendous disadvantage. The health loss is huge, but Hargrim comes through with the save at the last minute, bringing everyone back up to top health. Ingram coming through with an AoE, doing a bit of damage, followed up by Riser. The aim is Zart for, for back problems, and the aim for Hargrim for More Power. Those are the two main threats, and if they can get the first team to take one out is going to have a huge advantage. But Arakan Guard falls, and Hargrim may be close to follow. Gerard falls, the two tanks are down, but Hargrim also falls, leaving this into a 3v4 situation. However, More Power is in a pretty critical state. Worm Priest comes out with his second worm. It does another fair bit of damage, and they lose another character, More Power, making it a 2v4 situation. Riser takes a hiding approach again and is able to execute Zart, but he is the only character left. Is he going to be able to take these back problems out? It is probably very unlikely. He hides again, preventing any damage from coming out, and he nearly executes Pig Boy, but is unable to, giving the first point to Back Problems. Moving into round 2, Riser takes the hiding approach, going to strike from the flank. Dreverad comes through with the taunt, followed by Arakan Guard taunting as well. Bit of mimicry there, but it's what the teams need to do to take the damage off their team. Ingram puts the boss mark on the enemy, More Power, and when Worm Priest comes through with his worm, he should be able to put everyone to sleep. And there it is. There's a combination. I was mistaken last time. I thought it was Pig Boy that set it up. It's actually Ingram. And that gives the Back Problems a free turn of attack, which really gives them the advantage so early into the battle. Two in critical HP. However, Hargrim again is able to save him from the brink of defeat, but will it be enough? They really, really need to take out Zart. If they can take out Zart, they might be able to do something with that. Riser comes through with an attack, but it's dodged by Zart. His evasion buff really putting in some work there. Hargrim falls into critical HP and loses a bit more, taking up 2 dots. Arakan Axroy and Arakan Guard fall into critical HP. Arakan Guard is first to fall in the battle. Dreverard falls as well, but is brought back to life. It is not permanent, but it's enough to give him a 5v3 advantage. Arakan Axroy in the red, and it falls by a massive hit coming out from Worm Priest, making it a 5 out of 4v2, a 3v2 situation. Can More Power do anything from this? Who knows? Riser hides again, protecting himself. Worm Priest comes out with the worm, only hitting one target. Pig Boy takes an interesting strategy there, trying to attack Riser, hiding, but achieves nothing from it. Riser falls, and Argrim is last to fall, giving the point next to... Wait a second, we've got the ref calling a whistle there, blowing the whistle there. Let's head over to the ref. We'll find out what the issue is. Give us a sec, guys. Let's find out what the problem is. We are crossing live to referee Asti in the field. Asti, mate, what seems to be the issue?
Good evening, Polcho. It's come to our attention that Team More Power has tested positive to performance-enhancing drugs. Due to the regulations of the AI Championship, the team will no longer be able to partake in the events to come.
That is very unfortunate to hear. I thought we could expect a higher level of professionalism from the members of this prestigious event. Luckily for the audience and the members and the other teams out there, that this team More Power was already eliminated, and they would not be proceeding anyway.
We at the AI Championships take these matters very seriously. We will not tolerate this type of misconduct from any player or from any team.
Thank you for that, referee Asti. We love your work, and thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Thanks, Polcho.
Unfortunately, with this news, we will not be witnessing the third battle between Back Problems and More Power. Back Problems naturally won with 2 points, and they will be moving on to the quarterfinals. So let's move on to the next matchup and see who is fighting who. Moving on to the 14th match, we have Team 7 Headwear led by Hargrim versus Team 12 Protect the President led by Silvermoon. Some very interesting setups these teams have. Let's see who can perform the best in the ring and come out as the champion for the qualifiers. Going into round 1, we have Protect the President versus Headwear. Interesting team setup. Protect the President, they're literally protecting Silvermoon. That is their goal. She cannot die. They have a lot of taunts, but can they get the damage out? Oh, it will be unsure. With Swamp Killer and Schnee, there's a lot of damage on Headwear, and they're proving that by doing a lot of damage to Dreverard, but Silvermoon comes through with her invulnerability that will last 2 turns. Will Headwear waste their attacks on Dreverard? It looks like they might, but Arican Guard comes through with an interesting strategy and taking the damage off Dreverard, which allows him to heal up. Hargrim comes through with the heal as well. With Headwear having no proper tank, Grok being a bit of a hybrid character, all Protect the President really needs to do is take out Hargrim. Can they do it though with the amount of damage they output? It's questionable. If they are unable to taunt, which Dreverard is able to do, they will let Silvermoon die. Dreverard saving the day though. All they really need to do now is just really take out Hargrim. If they can do that, they may be able to win. They're a slow team. They don't have a Gatekeeper coming through, proving me wrong before I even said they do not do a lot of damage, but Gatekeeper comes through. Hargrim falls. Protect the President is doing surprisingly well. However, they lose their first character, and Silvermoon, the Headwear, quickly turns the tide of battle. Arican Guard coming through with a taunt a little bit too late. From here, I think Protect the President can't come back. They've lost their main character. The whole basis of their team is to protect that one character so they can slowly eliminate the enemy. However, Schnee and Swamp Killer seem to really be doing the work in the back row there. They are the ones really being protected by their team, and they are just being uncontested in their damage, coming through and just eliminating targets left, right, and center. They go to Gatekeeper next, really just humiliating Arican Guard. He spent the whole battle taunting, but they've left him to last to show that he's not really a threat. And Headwear comes through with the first point for the first round. We move on to round 2 and see if Protect the President can do anything different. Going into match number 2, Swamp Killer comes out with a quick attack on Dreverard, not achieving much, of applying the Rogue Mark, which might be able to help, which she comes through, follows up, and puts him to sleep. Very powerful start. However, he's already applied the taunt. It might be too late. What Protect the President really need to do here is they really need to take out Hargrim quicker than the previous battle. If they can eliminate Hargrim, they may be able to achieve something. However, Headwear is really punishing Dreverard here. They are not holding back whatsoever. They want this second point. They want to cement their place into the semi-quarterfinals. Arican Guard comes through with a last-second taunt, taking a bit of pressure off his teammates. Is it going to be enough to achieve anything? We'll have to see. Dreverard comes through with his AoE, decreasing the attack of his enemies, and critical hit damage, I think it is? Who knows? Anyway, Arican Guard taking the pressure off his team, but then applying pressure to himself as Swamp Killer comes through with a double critical hit, and Hargrim slamming him with the hammer. He falls in battle, the first character to die, and Protect the President hasn't really done any damage whatsoever to Headwear enough that they're causing them to feel any type of weak points. They're really just they're in a safe spot. Protect the President loses another character. Hargrim should be able to get a heal off soon enough, hopefully in enough time to save himself. But there's really no pressure at all on Headwear. They're doing relatively well. I think their setup is very good. They have the support of Mizuhuku, who applies a shield every now and then. Hargrim comes through with the shield, essentially cementing himself in for a five character win. All characters alive. Not often do we see that in this tournament. Gatekeeper last to stand. He's trying his hardest, but he can achieve nothing at this point. It's just eliminating him, and Headwear gain their second point in the second match, moving them on to the semi-quarterfinals. We'll move over to the third round, see if they can achieve anything else. And yeah, other than that, congratulations to Headwear. Moving into round number 3. Swamp Killer comes through with a devastating attack off the bat, applying a dot. Mizuhuku's passive really just adds a level of damage to the team that it can really take them pretty far. Trevor Rowe comes through with a taunt again, but is already put to sleep and has the rogue mark applied to him. Mizuhuku comes through with his AoE ability. Not many characters had DOS on him, so he had very, very, very slim chances there of applying, increasing any cooldowns on the enemy. And the damage output seems to even be higher this round. We might have to get the ref to look into Headwear. They might be using performance-enhancing drugs as well. I don't want to assume anything other than that, or they've really trained hard and they're showing this with their insane amount of critical hits and damage output. Hargrim shows that even though he is a healer, he can still do the damage output as well. I think the weak point of this team is Grok, however. Grok really isn't essentially the weakest link in terms of what he offers the team. His synergy is quite low with the team. He does offer a healing ability to Schnee, but he doesn't really taunt. He isn't able to take that pressure off his teammates. So apart from a heal on one ally and a random taunt here or there, he's probably the character that offers the least to the Headwear team. But they don't care. They're here with people who have the fanciest headgear, and I think they have a very good selection of characters. Protect the President has lost 3 characters, leaving Arakan Guard and Gatekeeper. The last 2 on the field seems to be the theme for this team. These 2 characters seem to be the ones that can hold out the longest. However, with Silvermoon down, there's not much they can do. They can't sustain themselves. Arakan Guard does have a level of self-healing, but it's just not enough. He can't keep up with the damage being dealt out from Headwear. We have lost Hargrim, but it doesn't matter at this point. There you go. Headwear takes the 3rd point, giving them a confident win. And yeah, even though it's already been cemented, they are moving on to the semi-quarterfinals. Let's head over to the next ring and see who is fighting. Match number 15 in the second match for the qualifiers. We have Team 22, Double Strike, led by Grok, going up against Team 10, the Sass Club, led by Succubus. Let's head over to the arena and see which team has what it takes to move forward. Moving into the first round, we have Sass Club versus Double Strike. Swamp Killer starts off with a pretty powerful hit against Blood Priest, who is then followed up by being put to sleep with the Rogue Mark and a lot of damage coming out. Succubus comes out silencing 3 targets, very successful silence, but is it enough to achieve anything? She follows up with a whip, doing a lot of damage to Kobolok, who is very close to dying, who is going to have the first character die. Sass Club loses their healer, followed by Double Strike losing theirs, bringing it to a 4v4 situation. Both teams have very high damage output. However, Double Strike really seems to be focusing the right targets and keep really honing in on the damage they need to be dishing out. Swamp Killer diverts a bit there to go for Pig Boy, where a better target might have been Softy or Succubus. Softy going very close to dying. Swamp Killer putting Succubus to sleep, and she is unable to finish off, and then bringing it down to a 3v3 as Softy falls in battle. It is a very close battle here. Succubus on the brink of defeat. Nothing really can save her here. She is next to fall. Pig Boy does his AoE, and he is put to sleep as well. It is very, very close, however, with the main damage dealers of Sass Club down, I don't think they can really achieve anything. Pig Boy goes in for a final strike, attempting to kill off Arik and Shadow, but he's unable to do so, as now Swamp Killer and Shadow, who falls in battle, out damage their opponent and take the first point. First point going to Double Strike. Moving in to round number 2, a lot of damage being output on Blood Priest off the very bat. Succubus comes through with a silence, but only applies it to 2 of her 3 targets. Pig Boy following up with the AoE. If only they had someone to trigger the boss mark he applies, they could really have an advantage with that. However, they are unable to do so. Again, Blood Priest and Cobra Lock are the both characters going to be first to fall, with Blood Priest being the first. Swamp Killer really needed to take out Cobra Lock there. She wasn't able to do so. Pig Boy is able to come through though and finish her off. However, Arik and Shadow and Swamp Killer are now dishing a fair bit of damage on different targets. Hound comes through with a sleep on Softy. Succubus really has a grudge against Pig Boy there. She has the opportunity to eliminate other characters on the field. However, she's choosing to attack Pig Boy for some reason. Succubus comes through with the triple silence, applying it to all 3 targets. And again, they are really just, there is something about Pig Boy that they do not like. They could easily take out Succubus. Finally, some mind coming to Arik and Shadow, who takes out the weak link and gives themselves a victory. If they were to allow Succubus to just do whatever she wanted there, she might have been able to achieve something. Unfortunately, Arik and Shadow does have a semi-brain and is able to come up with some type of tactical? Some type of play, yeah. Oh, good enough. The Lara is last in the field due to her passive, and she falls, however, giving the second point to Double Strike. A very interesting team. Let's move over to the third round, see if they can get themselves the third point. However, they seem to be, their synergy seems to be quite powerful. Moving into round number 3, Swamp Killer starts with the same abilities, however she is unable to land her attack. Hound comes through with the follow-up, putting Blood Priest to sleep. Succubus lands 3 of her silences, however, on pretty important characters. However, Blood Priest is now just taking a beating. He really needs to survive if he wants to do some damage. The damage he can output may be what this team needs to actually do well. However, he falls in battle first again, and Cobra Lock is left on the field alive. I think the spirit of Sass Club has just been broken at this point. They lose a second character fairly early into the match. This is the worst performance they have shown us so far. There isn't much. They can't win at this point. They've already lost the first 2 rounds. There's no point in them. But you know, they could put up a fight for their fans, the people who do believe in them. However, they've decided to just give up. A very unsportsmanlike show from them, and they lose another character. A very quick battle as Double Strike comes through with 5 characters still alive and taking it through, gaining the third point for the match, for the rounds, gaining all 3 points for each round, and moving on to the semi-quarter finals. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. The final match of the qualifiers. We have Team 17 Hide and Seek led by Gasser going up against Team 24 Sharp Bits led by Riser. 2 powerful teams that have trained a long time. Hopefully they can give us a good last match for the qualifiers. Let's head over to the stadium now and see which team comes out as the victor. Going into the first round of match 16, Hylia starts off by hiding herself and Riser. And Schnee and Gasser follow up with hiding as well, making essentially the whole team untargetable. So who does the team target when that is the case? Who knows? A lot of damage coming out on Blood Priest there. He does fall, unfortunately. Atals is not able to get his taunt off, and Riser does a fair bit of damage on Hylia. However, he's not able to finish her as Jag comes through with the fail attack. If he was able to get that attack through, he might have been able to achieve something, but unfortunately he was not able to do so, and Hylia was able to heal up her allies from that, giving them quite the advantage. Most of the characters have come out of hiding. However, they are outdoing the damage. They've already achieved what they need to gain the foothold in this battle. Gasser comes through with the hide again, hiding everyone on the team. A very counterproductive ability, since after everyone is hidden, they can attack whoever they want by the looks of it. Schnee and Gasser attack Angram, followed up by Riser, who's able to execute him, leaving the character on the team that should be taking all the damage as the last character alive. And hide and seek come through with the first point for the first round. Let's move over to round number 2. Moving into round 2, Hylia starts off with her hide, and so does Riser from her side. Schnee, Gasser following up with their hides as well. Valara putting Arikan Priest to sleep. The issue here is that Tiles is using his taunt on Riser, who at the point is underground, and it's an ineffective move. It does nothing, it achieves nothing. Are they able to take out Hylia this time? They are, making it a 4v4 situation. They cannot waste attacks on Riser when he is hiding underground. Sharp Bits lose Riser, making it a 3v4 situation. I think the character to take out here would probably be Schnee. I think that is the smart move. Unfortunately, when he goes into hiding, it makes it hard to do any damage to him due to his evasion buff. I think at this point, there's not much they can do. Tiles really lets the team down here by taunting someone that he isn't able to really taunt. He needs to focus that ability on someone else, but unfortunately, he is unable to do so, giving the second point to Hide and Seek. Hide and Seek take the second point, moving them onto the semi-quarterfinals. Moving into the third and final match of the qualifiers, Hide and Seek have already cemented themselves into the semi-quarterfinals qualifiers. You guys know what I'm talking about. A lot of damage coming out on Blood Priest. He is not able to survive though. Tiles really lets the team down here. Unfortunately, his wasted taunt isn't able to protect his team. And I feel like his teammates are really going to be talking to him in the locker room after this match, because it took a lot for these teams to qualify to enter this prestigious competition, and to come all this way just to waste their attempt due to one teammate letting the team down. It's unacceptable. There are other teams in the world that could have entered over this team that may have been able to perform a little bit better or communicate a little bit better with their teammates and come up with a strategy that might help everyone. However, Tile seems to be acting as if he's a solo player in this match, and it's just not what you need in a teammate. You really need to focus, set a target, and execute. It's an insult to his team. Unfortunately, Hide and Seek come through with the third point. There's nothing a Task can do. You see, his team just has no hope. He looks after himself. He's the character left last in the field. He achieves nothing, giving the third point to Hide and Seek, who make it through to the semi-quarterfinals. So that will be interesting. All the matches for the qualifiers are done. The next set of matches to come out will be the semi-quarterfinals, and there are some hot, spicy teams in there that players cannot wait to see. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the final few matches for the qualifying rounds. We had going through to the semi-quarterfinals, Team 9 Back Problems versus Team 7 Headwear. And in the last match, we will have Team 22 Double Strike versus Team 17 Hide and Seek. Those are your, 4, 8, 12, 16 teams that have made it through to the semi-quarterfinals. The next few matches will be interesting. We have a few team favorites lined up. We have Stylish Beards going up against Carrying Wood. We have some underdog teams that people have taken a liking to. Self-Destruct, my new personal favorite. And we've had some favorites being eliminated, like Rat Squad. That was unfortunate, but that is the way of the AI Championships. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. And wherever you are in the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.